Hello students, today in this video we are going to explain the topic of emergency in the 10th class 18th lesson. We are going to learn about the topic of emergency in India and why emergency was imposed during the period of Indira Gandhi from 1975 to 1977. That all things we are going to learn in this video today. And emergency is a situation, it is an altered governance. It is an altered governance and it is a altered constitutional setup which is proclaimed by the President of India. And according to the emergency period, number of changes are coming in the state as well as the central government. And now we have to see what are the important factors helped for announcing emergency in our country. Generally, emergency can be imposed in a country by some important factors. Among those, one is political instability. In any country, no strong political party is ruling. In that destabilized ruling, we can't satisfy the people's welfare and one-sided development. And as long as the political parties are very strong, they are controlling the population, they are doing all the welfare programs, and people also chances to satisfy with the activities of government. But when the political instability is going on, in that political destabilized condition, it is difficult to stop the revolutions led by the people. So during the period of Indira Gandhi, though she ruled very well in the beginning, from the period of 1975 to 1977, there was severe opposition faced by Indira Gandhi from the people and from the opposition party leaders. That's why whenever the political instability appeared in the country around the politics, that is the indication for announcing emergency. Number two is uprising revolutions. People have so many demands. Generally, politicians are promising the people that they have to fulfill the demands of the people. Sometimes politicians may success in fulfilling their demands, sometimes they may fail in fulfilling all the demands. Whenever the leaders are not in a position to fulfill the demands of the people, automatically revolutions or people may adopt the path of revolution. All type of category people, it means employers, workers, business people, artisans, peasants, farmers, daily laborers, industrial workers, teaching faculty, in all these different people also may enter and may take the path of revolution in order to remove the government. And the third factor, sometimes soldiers also revolting in the entire country. We are observing in many countries, the major generals and the chief marshals and the chief of the army generals are occupying the power of the country and implementing military government. Example, Pakistan. So Pakistan underwent into the hands of military leaders many times. So whenever the military leaders wanted to occupy the power of the country, in that time also the president may impose emergency. And it may be sometimes a political emergency, sometimes a financial emergency. Any part of the country or the whole part of the country also is being occupied by the other country. It means other country wanted to invade on our India. In that condition also, government may impose emergency period. So these are the general conditions, these are the general factors. Based on these factors only in our India, emergency can be imposed. But we have to see, suppose emergency is imposing in a country, what are the immediate changes are taking place in the state and in the central politics. The first change is, whenever the emergency is imposing, already we discussed, emergency is imposed by the announcement of president. Though emergency is announcing by president, the person who is playing active role in making the president to announce emergency is prime minister. It means president imposed the emergency in the country on the advice of prime minister. It means we should not forget here, the key person in the time of emergency is prime minister. President is just nominally announcing the emergency. During the emergency period, president and prime ministers also enjoying the power, and maximum powers in all departments are underwent into the hands of prime minister. Here we put a question, why Indira Gandhi announced emergency? Indira Gandhi, in the period of 1971, 1972, 73 up to 75, it is common, there are ebbs and tides in the government. There are some successful works and some failures also. Though Indira Gandhi, the former prime minister, succeeded in the beginning period, she faced severe opposition from Janata Party people. Janata Party leaders like J.B. Kripalani and Jayaprakash Narayan criticized severely the policies of Indira Gandhi. When Indira Gandhi policies are not succeeded in the country, when the policies are failured, these Janata Party leaders criticized the Indira Gandhi's failure, and they spread these failures in the entire country. And they led a movement, especially J.B. Kripalani, Jayaprakash Narayan led a movement. It was very prominent in Bihar and Gujarat. And anti-Indira Gandhi concept is injected in the mind of the people by these opposition leaders. Number two, Indira Gandhi had taken a severe challenge, removal of poverty, through the fourth five-year plan in the period of 1969 to 1974. But she did not success in this five-year plan, fourth five-year plan completely. She gave a slogan, Garibi Hatao, nothing but removal of poverty. And removal of poverty, removing the poverty from our India is not an easy task. That's why fourth plan strategies are continued to fifth plan, sixth plan also. And a heavy amount of money was also wasted in order to provide employment for the people, in order to remove the poverty, in order to implement poverty eradication programs, in order to provide employment generation programs by Indira Gandhi government. But she did not complete the programs, and she failed in some programs. Example, family planning program was initiated by Indira Gandhi's government. But this plan was also, this scheme was also not succeeded. And Indira Gandhi also started a 20-point program, and she cancelled the privy purse. Privy purse means the pension given to the people, to the leaders who are the kings of olden days native princely states. Native princely state leaders joined their places into our Indian Union, and in response, Indira Gandhi's government wanted to announce them to give pensions. They were living happily with the pensions, but suddenly Indira Gandhi's government cancelled the privy purse. So in this way, cancellation of privy purse and not succeeding in the controlling of population, not succeeding in eradication of poverty, implementing 20-point program, and nationalization of 14 banks, public sector banks. So in all these events, what we can understand here, all these are causing for creation of opposition against Indira Gandhi by Janata Party leaders. And when Indira Gandhi announced emergency with the help of the president in that time, common people suffered many problems. In the period of 1975 to 1977, actually Indira Gandhi's main idea, main strategy was to suppress the opposition. It means the aim of imposing emergency by Indira Gandhi was political suppression. But that announcement of emergency led to increasing of poverty, facing many problems by common people. 1975 to 77, 2 years, maximum people announced the emergency period was nothing but the black period, and people believed that their lives were thrown into jeopardy, troubles. And in this period, more than 60,000 of different opposition party members, leaders, volunteers were jailed by Indira Gandhi's government. But along with these negative results, we have to know some more positive results, positive measures which are taken by Indira Gandhi's government during emergency period. The positive results are: one is 42nd Amendment in 1976 was laid down, and it was added in our Indian Constitution. Through 42nd Amendment, 2 words are added. We already learned in the previous class that those 2 words are secular and socialist. So Indira Gandhi's Congress party announced building of socialistic pattern of society in India was its aim, announced by Congress party in 1955. So to achieve this socialism, Indira Gandhi's government had taken adding of socialist, secular 2 words to our Indian preamble through 42nd Amendment in 1976. In the same way, the fundamental rights are also decreased from 7 to 6. Right to property was deleted through 44th Amendment in 1978. In the same way, Supreme Court is to be made as the subservient to the Parliament. It means compared to Supreme Court and Parliament, Parliament is given upper hand on compared to Supreme Court. Generally, we feel Supreme Court's decision is the final one. But in the Parliament, including Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both the members, House members, nearly 795 members are there. Lok Sabha comprised 545, whereas Rajya Sabha 250. Collectively, Parliament comprised 795. The representatives of the people are discussing on various topics. So, higher priority should be given to these representatives also. That's why the parliamentary power was decreased before, but it was restored through 42nd Amendment. And they separated they separated the election disputes, they separated the involvement of court in election disputes. So this is also one more amendment which was implemented by Indira Gandhi's government during emergency. But ultimately, emergency period gave a bad result to the Indira Gandhi personally and Indira Gandhi's Congress party also. That's why after the completion of emergency period in 1977, Indira Gandhi and the Congress party leaders also were defeated in the 6th general elections. As a result, Janata Party came into power and it ruled in place of Congress party. Janata Party came into power. It ruled from 1977 up to 1980. So this is about emergency period. And after emergency, how the Janata Party ruled our India and what are the political trends came. These things we are going to learn in our next video. Thank you for watching.